So we all heard the old saying that the only thing women care about is money. But if that's the holy truth, how is it possible then that some broke men out there are dating some of the most beautiful women? I mean, how do they do that? And what is their secret? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to reveal to you in today's video by giving you the 5 things women find more attractive than money. And coming in at number 1, physical appearance. So it's a well-known fact that men fall in love with their eyes and women with their ears. But what if I told you that women care about looks as well, and maybe even more than men? And a good example of this are dating apps. And that's because it's been proven that on average, women give the average man a worse rating than men give to an average woman. In other words, women these days are more picky, and they only go out with the top 40% of men. But now you might be asking, okay, but how do I get to be in the top 40%? Well, firstly, I want you to look at this man and tell me what he could improve to become more attractive. So right away, he should definitely lose some weight and get a better haircut. Now this right here is the same man, but this time he lost like 40 pounds and got himself a haircut that fits his skull shape. And you can clearly see that he went from being like a 4 out of 10 to maybe a 6.5. And you can do this too. And all you gotta do to get going is to analyze yourself like we just did and write down the things you should improve. And in case you don't know what to look for, I left a list of the most common things to improve for you in the comments. Number 2, confidence. So you can ask any woman on the street about what is the most attractive thing in a man, and I can guarantee you that she will say confidence. But what is confidence, and how do you get it? Well, confidence, as many people think, is not about being the loudest in a room or the center of attention. It's actually about how you carry yourself. And as a confident man, you want to have the ability to walk into a room and feel secure in who you are without needing to prove anything to anyone. In other words, when you walk in there, you don't act fake to impress women by trying to be someone you're not, because women can sense this. But how do you actually become confident then? Well, by improving yourself in any way you can. And just think about the man I showed you before. Do you think that he was more confident when he was overweight or when he lost weight and improved himself? Obviously, after he improved himself, because at that point, he realized his worth and started going for what he thought he deserved. In other words, he became confident. Number 3, adventure. So just like all adults, women are also stuck in their boring, responsible schools or jobs, and their lives are filled with repetitive routines. And because of all this boring stuff, women are dying to experience some adventure. In other words, an escape from their everyday life. But how do they get this escape? Well, usually by dating adventurous men, and you can definitely become one. Now, when I say adventurous, I don't mean that you should take her bungee jumping every week, because that's a bit extreme. You should aim for a bit more subtle approach by, for example, taking her to your favorite hikes, learning something new with her, or by taking her to some place she always wanted to visit. Whatever it is, if it makes the woman feel more alive, she will fall into your lap and want more of it. Number 4, experience in bed. So a lot of guys still believe that women don't enjoy sex as much as men do, but the truth is, women love it just as much, if not more. And more importantly, women absolutely want a man who knows how to please them the right way, because this is something money can't buy, and only a few select men know how to give it to them. But here comes the question, how do these men do it? Well, firstly, these men are not afraid to dominate and to take charge of the moment. And secondly, they pay close attention to what excites the woman. And when they discover her weak spots, they focus on them relentlessly, leaving her utterly captivated and begging for more. Now, before we get to the last point, please make sure to subscribe because I drop bangers like this every single week and you simply don't want to miss them. Anyway, let's take a look at number 5, and that is mystery. So because most men have no idea about how to be mysterious, they end up chasing their woman away. And they usually do that by smothering her with good morning texts, calling her every single day, and by making themselves available at the drop of a hat. And believe me, these are some of the worst things you can do in the early dating stages, because they totally kill the woman's curiosity. In other words, if you are simply too easy to get for a woman, she will lose interest in you. But what about the opposite? What about the mysterious men? Well, women absolutely love them. And the reason why is because these men are a challenge to them. In other words, women have to work for their attention because these men are busy living their lives. And I mean, just think of James Bond, for example. He definitely isn't spending hours on the phone with women, checking in every day, or flooding their inbox with messages. He is simply living his life full of adventure on his own terms, and women come in second. So eventually, it's the women who do the chasing because his time is extremely valuable. Speaking of chasing, by the way, it's one of the things women do when they're into you. But there's more, so make sure to check out this video next where I talk about 6 signs that she's into you.